忘れない 君 Because I saw the notification.
We're live now. Hi.
Hello.
We were on the intro screen. That's what was going on. Hello, everybody.
I see.
I am going to do a freaking thing. I'm going to be editing this entire time. I apologize in advance, but that's just what's got to be happening. Overlord has to get done, and yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. So you're not going to hear from me much as per usual. Working on something. Mm-hmm. But this time I'm working on sound effects for a scene in Overlord, and I might be kind enough to show you a snippet of it. I might, you know, if you guys decide to behave. Are you gonna behave? Are you guys gonna behave?
Chat, you gonna be cool?
Chat, you gonna be cool?
Once.
Maybe.
For once, are you guys gonna be cool? Any of you? Yes, no?
Because you've all had a history.
There has been a bit of history, and it's not been good. All right. Hey, chat, don't be like TwitchCon, okay?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Every TwitchCon, I hear something bad.
Oh yeah, this time it was Emiru, and we just were like, no, just no.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
That makes me upset.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It should make a lot of people upset.
Yeah. What do they need to bring, like a taser around the cons and give them to the people going? Jesus.
Well, she's not going anymore. She's just straight up said she's like done with TwitchCon, and I can't blame her.
You know, I don't blame her either. Yeah, that's
honestly,
just
it's been
awful.
How many times? How many chances can you give a con before it's just like, no, you kept blundering every single chance I've given you. No,
yeah,
you're done.
It's done.
Ugh. Disgusting.
My disappointment in you is immeasurable. One second.
And we get this. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now you can do with this, or you could do with that. All right, give me a second.
Okay, 1 second.
Greetings, gentlemen. May I
Good
bother you for a
news,
drink?
everyone. Good news, everyone. All
Let me see.
right.
I've been nothing but teleport bread for 3 days.
That
Successfully.
does not surprise me at all.
Where have you been sending them? Ugh.
Let's see. Okay, let me
Just a moment.
see real quick, because I'm expecting we're still doing the wheel. I kind of want to try to hold out for Moon, but
Moon might be a minute.
Yeah,
That's
fine.
all I can sit here and say.
yeah,
We can hold the fort until then.
I guess we could just chat.
Well, either that,
Or
or I can
how-
get started and he can jump in later. However you want to do it.
Yeah, if you want to start reading and then we do the wheel, that I'm fine with that.
I mean,
We
however
do
you
it
want to
when
start
you
doing
or
it.
if I
I'm
want- if you
just
want
getting
guys want
something
me
in
to
order
read.
real quick. So, I mean, whoever you want or whatever you want to do, man.
I'll probably
I'm
get
just
some
getting some
tea
stuff
either
in
way.
order. So,
Because
okay,
I imagine I am going to be reading a little bit today.
sure thing.
I will be right back, guys. Don't worry, it should only take like 5.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mortis.
Mortis. Rigor mortis.
Niece.
Okay. Apologies, guys. I am still trying to work on stuff. And I know some of you are hearing what I'm working on, and it is what it is. I'm going to have to stop screen sharing because, yeah. There. Now you guys...
All of you.
It's part of getting older. Rigor mortis, indeed. It is part of getting older.
But yeah.
Hey, yo,
true.
lightning.
Ugh.
DDA, your dedicated stalkers, I mean followers, wish to be acknowledged. Hi.
It's true.
Hi. I'm sorry,
hello.
I'm working on stuff.
Stuff.
I am editing, I apologize. So.
I see. Oh, wow, that far out. Okay.
Okay, good stuff. So, I guess I can do one thing. Do you a fuck? No, kinda.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's see if I can. You know what? I'm just gonna render this bitch real quick. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Okay.
So keep chat entertained.
Okay.
Scene 12 draft 3.5. I'm gonna call it 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
That is what it is. It is draft 3.5. We're not fully at draft 4 yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, this is the longest scene of the entire show. Like, most of the scenes are like either 1.5 to 3 minutes. This scene is 7 minutes long. Almost 7.5.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, that is a lot of time. Especially when you consider we have 16 scenes, credits, and a TLDR intro. So.
Okay.
But I want you guys to know, I'm streaming right now. I am rendering right now. And the render is still happening really fast. I apologize if the stream is suffering because of it. Share your meager earnings with Patreon when I can. You're like a part-time Dave? All right, well.
Schmeager.
At least you know your place. Also, this is nowhere near all of the sound effects. I'm still going through. I'm just getting the obvious shit done right now. You beat me by 1 second. Are you not entertained? No, not really. Barely 1 second.
Fair.
Hello, Lightning Rod. Ironically, I've been using a lot of lightning sound effects, so that works. That works very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so all jokes aside, you're just vibing? Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All
I think
right,
everyone is right now. It's a weird time of the year.
Let me see if I can do this. Okay, video 1 track, delete track. But what about the audio one? Ooh. Let me take a look at you. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's draft 3. Fuck yeah. Okay, that's way less stuff that I have to worry about in a render later. So, okay, we'll save the project as it is right now. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So let's see if I can find that there's scenes. There's 3.5. There we go. There's the bitch.
Huh.
Okay, there we go. All right. So give me just a moment. I'll show you guys a thing.
Okay.
Like, you're not going to get the whole thing, but you're going to get some of it, you know?
Yeah.
So there you go. I love tap. Okay, I think this is the... Yep, it is. Okay, cool. All right, let me... Nope. My transitions, no. Ew, there it is. All right, so I'm going to swap over real quick, and then you guys will see.
Hope all of you guys out there are having a good day, though. Or a
I
good
hope
night,
so, too. I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely day. Okay, let's make sure that it works.
Are you having a fan?
There we go. All right. Guys, you're going to see a small clip from Overlord Abridged. Who wants to see a small clip from Overlord Abridged? Everybody? Anybody? Yeah. All right. So I will screen share. This bit with you guys as well. So apologies if it doubles up because of Discord, but actually no. I'm gonna mute you guys on Discord, that way they don't get the extra feedback. So yeah. I'm just gonna show that one bit that made you giggle.
Oh, yep. Yep. Go right ahead.
All right. So here we go, guys. I'm going to show you a small clip of a scene of Overlord just early. We're trying to get this out and have it streaming on Halloween. We want to be streaming it here on Halloween. So if you want to see the full thing, which honestly is going to be like 40 plus minutes, make sure to come by. I'll be streaming for about 8 hours. We'll be doing all sorts of stuff. Come by, hang out, chat, all that stuff. It's going to start at noon Central Time. That's what we're looking for. All right. I'm going to mute Discord so you guys can just not get double the audio. All right. Let's get started. I saw that you're going to use PTO for this. That's beautiful.
Girl moment in the middle of our
understanding of the world if the opinions of the worms can upset me.
Are you having a fangirl moment in the middle of our fight?
You do not understand his overwhelming majesty!
And apparently, we're just doing this now.
Lord Ainz is the greatest. He is the strongest. Most composed. And emotionally stable individual I have ever met.
Curse the actions of this unholy body! My day has been ruined.
And most of all, he is the most intelligent and wise being I have ever encountered.
Wait, I'm a necromancer. I can totally salvage this debacle.
But I have wasted enough time trying to convince lesser beings of the realm of beings beyond their meager comprehension.
What? What? are you?
I am but a humble maid. And as a maid, it is my calling to carry out the duties bestowed upon me.
What are you going on about? There is no way you're using 7th tier magic! Right?
You have made an absolute mess in front of Lord Ainz. And as everyone knows, it is a maid's job to clean up the trash.
And there we go. That's it. That's all we're getting. That's well. Actually, hold on. That do what a butler
Lord
does. And
Ainz, how did things go for you?
I made a friend.
Aw, that's sweet.
By the way, what happened to your adventuring outfit?
I'm
not going to buy you new things if you're just going to lose them.
Yes, my lord.
And there we go. All right, I turned the stuff back on, and yeah, there we go. That's what I'm doing right now. This, all of this, everything you're seeing right here, I'm doing all this, and this is just one goddamn scene. But yeah, there you go. You were just thinking about a Helsing reference.
Yep.
Dude,
You're
I'm
not the
already
only one.
using Dragon Ball Z sound effects, so we're good, dude. Like, we're super good.
I heard the Palpatine lightning is in there as well.
Oh yeah, that was Force Lightning. That was absolutely Force Lightning, pulled from the Force Awakens. Not the Force Awakens. The Force Unleashed, pulled from the Force Unleashed. I don't know if it's
Oh, the newer
Palpatine's,
one.
but it's definitely. I think it's definitely Star Killers. I think it's Star Killers. Yeah.
I'd have to look.
Alright.
I haven't looked too much into Star Killers, like sound
That's
effect
fine.
wise. But I have to go back into that and check.
So yeah, guys, that's what I'm busy with right now. I am not done with all the sound effects, but if I could get a scene done in a day, then there's hope. Because, yeah, that was Kochin's voice, DBZA World's Strongest. No, was not.
Yeah, no, I can see the resemblance.
Couchin?
no, that was me. That was me. I was doing that, which is funny because now that I think about it a little bit.
And a penis!
Like, God damn it. But no, that was me.
Kochin, no.
May be able to catch the next stream later in the day. Con work. Super excited for y'all. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you so
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Remember,
My
Halloween,
condolences.
we'll be doing this. So come by on Halloween. I'll be streaming for about 8 hours or so and enjoy. All right. That being said, let's not forget that I think we're going live over on Sweetrin's channel. Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't know what's going on. I know that Yui said she wants to react to Solo Leveling this week. By the way, episode 2 is out. For those of you that don't know, yes, episode 2 of Solo Leveling is out. Please go watch it. Leave us a comment. All those things. Engage with the content so that we can have, a better time with the algorithm. Please feed the algorithm. It be hungry.
Every little bit helps.
Absolutely. SLA episode 2 is hilarious. Oh, thank you. I'm looking forward to working on 3. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right. That having been said, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Let's go ahead.
All right, so Chem, do you want to just? I have an idea for this. Chem, I'm
Okay.
gonna let this down to you. Do you want to just read until Moon arrives and then we do the wheel, or do you want to do it just you and me, and then when Moon gets here, we add him to the wheel?
I mean, however you want to do it. You got the wheel ready and everything's on there, right?
Yep.
Okay, because I got water, I got everything ready. So I mean, I'm fine to just go. This is
Right.
true.
All right, I'll just remove Moon from now then,
All
and
the livelong
then
day.
I'll just have it be a 50-50 between you and me.
Okay.
All right. You know what? I'll even stream it. Why not? It might not be matter for anyone in stream, but just for us. Alrighty. First wheel spin. Who is going to be reading? It's me. All right. What voice am I going to be doing?
Good question.
Let's see. I got everything. Yep. Should be in there. What voice am I doing? Oh, I got barely hit engineer. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was doctor there for a second. All right. All right. I'm going to be going on a little southern voice. All right. Go ahead. Take that off. There we go. All right. Things went by in a frenzy after I returned. First, Asha ran out to fetch Norn from school. Roxy, either out of consideration or because it felt too awkward lingering here, went off to retrieve Geese and the others. Lena Lee seemed anxious to rush to her beloved cliffside, but resisted the temptation. As we waited for everyone to gather here, I passed the time asking Sylphie about what had happened since I left. I was sure she wanted nothing more than to hear about how my adventures had gone, but she didn't complain as she recounted events during my absence. Her pregnancy was moving along smoothly. According to the doctor, the child would most likely be born right on time. As for the others, they were apparently doing well. There'd been a small incident at the school a few days ago, but Nana Hoshi had resolved it. Something might have changed in her if she was going out of her way to help the people of this world. Neither Asha nor Norn had gotten sick or injured. They were both doing well. Asha's gardening hobby had taken off, and she'd even had new plants growing in her room. I had to take a look for myself when I had the opportunity. Oh, I'm sorry. I'd have to take a look for myself when I have the opportunity. Norn was gradually becoming an idol-like figure at the school, having spawned something akin to a fan club. It made sense, given how cute she was. Drink some tea. Zabona, Cliff, and Lena and Persina. Oh, that's right. And Lena and Persina popped in occasionally at the house to check in. Ariel had apparently complained that I'd said nothing to her before leaving. She was right, come to think of it. I need to apologize the next time I saw her. Even so, everything I heard suggested that they were all doing well. When I had the time, I would have to go inform them all about that I returned. Apparently, the only exclusion to our group of friends was Badagati, who remained unaccounted for. Well, he was immortal, so I doubted anything bad had happened to him. Sylvie looked adorable, as always, with a finger pressed to her chin as she tried to recall the past 6 months. So nothing happened to anyone? I remarked. No, nothing I think to worry you, at least. All right. Sylvie changed the subject. Anyway, tell me, what happened with you? Oh, I'll tell you, I promised. Just wait until everyone is gathered first. A lot happened. Okay. It looks like they're back. In the midst of that conversation, Roxy returned along with Geese, Talahad, Lena, Verna, Shira, Elena Lise, and Zenith. With Sophie and myself included, there were 10 of us. Our living area was spacious enough to accommodate them, and then some. Oh, you must be the boss's. You must be the boss's wife. Geese realized. You sure are cute, boss. You're a lucky one. That's my granddaughter, Alina Lee has informed him. Yep, and if not for her slutty granny, she'd be perfect. Excuse me? The rest of the party ignored the two bickering companions, move in to greet Sylphie one by one. She received them humbly, returning their greetings in kind. A pleasure. I'm Roxy Milgrida. I wasn't saying that right. Roxy? As in the master that Rudy is always boasting about? Asked Sylphie. Yes, that one, Roxy said, then paused a moment before continuing. Although
Did
I'm
you try to say Roxy's last name earlier and
yeah,
mispronounce it? Migurdia.
Migurdia, thank you.
Wow, like I couldn't ignore that. It's like, wait a minute.
I have not seen that. Like, here's the thing: if I don't see the word, I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Migurdia.
Names are Migurdia. Thank you. All right. Where was I? Well, I'm pleased to meet you. I've heard so much about you from Rudy. I'm Sylphiette. It's an honor. Yes, for me as well, Roxy said, seeming a bit awkward. It made sense that she would be, I guess. Not too much time had passed since our conversation the other day about her joining our family, but that talk would have to wait till later. It's been a while, Mistress Sylphiette, Lena greeted her with a bow of the head. Yes, it has, Miss Lena. Sylphie seemed delighted at their reunion, her lips threatening to break into a genuine smile, only to turn bitter just as quickly. There's no need for Mistress Sylphiette. Could you just call me Sylphie as you did so long ago? No, Lena shook her head. I can't treat you as I did before. Not now that you've wed Lord Rudius. Oh, all right. Sylphie looked abashed. Lena had taught her everything she knew about homework or housework. In a way, she was Sylphie's master, the same way Roxy was mine. Of course, Sylphie respected her. It's been a while, Miss Zenith. Oh, it's been a while, Miss Zenith, Sylphie said, at last turning to greet her mother. Miss Zenith? All those dots. Zenith just stared blankly ahead, even as Sylphie called out to her. Troubled, Sylphie glanced back at me. The look on her face said she was worried Zenith wasn't pleased by our marriage. Sylphie, I said, I'll explain about my mother and father once Norn gets here. Oh, yes, I don't see Mr. Paul here, she began to say, her eyes searching the room. It didn't take long for her to infer what had happened about everyone after everyone fell silent, and she glimpsed their faces. Sylphie pursed her lips and went quiet. Silence fell as we waited for Norn to return. It was tactfully understood that we couldn't begin until she arrived. After a bit, Asha and Norn returned, both breathless from the run. Big brother! Welcome back from your long trip! Norn he'd huffed and puffed as she spoke, bowing her head. She caught a glimpse of my hand and jolted. Is your hand okay? It's fine. It's inconvenient, but it doesn't hurt, I said. Compared to what we were about to discuss, my left hand was hardly noteworthy. Oh, okay. Norn was still struggling to catch her breath as she glanced about the room. Huh? She muttered in confusion, unable to find who she was looking for as she took a seat. Asha approached me and asked, Before we proceed, would it not be appropriate to serve the guests some tea? Yeah, you're right, I agreed. This is going to take a while, so please do. Oh, I'm sorry, said Sylphie. I should be the one doing that. Let me help out. Not at all, mistress. Stay here. Entrusted with the task, Asha immediately set to work. She prepared enough tea for everyone, gathered their luggage in one place, and hung up their coats wet from the snow. She offered everyone slippers to use, taking their damp shoes and setting them to dry by the fireplace. I sat unmoving and merely watched her do all of this. It wasn't just me watching either. Lena was also observing her daughter closely. Come to think of it, Lena had always been the one doing this kind of work back in Rapin. Rapone? Rapin? Am I saying that right? Rapan. Rapon, there we go. Thank you. But now, in the deathly silence, she stayed put, not lifting a finger. That was a rare
Sorry, I
sight.
was speaking, but then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Shit, I was muted.
Oh, I mean, you said you had issues with Discord earlier.
No, that
Recording.
wasn't an issue. I was just muting so that you could read. I didn't want to have anything in the background that picked up
Oh, you're fine.
because I like clicking stuff. But go ahead. Sorry.
Gotcha. That was a rare sight. Asha, once her daughter's work was mostly complete, Lena called out to her. Yes, what is it, Mother? It seems you're attending to your duties properly and not causing trouble for your brother. Yes, Asha nodded. You may be related to Lord Rudius by blood, but it... Aisha? Oops, sorry. Aisha nodded. You may be related to Lord Rudius by blood, but it was he who saved your life. Keep that in mind as you continue to carry out your duties as his maid. Yes, Mother, Aisha replied, sounding just as formal as Lena. It didn't feel right to hear a parent and child talk like that. This was their first time seeing each other in a while. I felt like they should be, well, warmer to each other. Then again, perhaps Lena was just restraining herself. The conversation to come was
Lilia.
going to be
Sorry.
Lilia.
Gotta cut in.
Thank you. No, you're fine. Then again, perhaps Lilia was just restraining herself. Conversation to come was going to be a painful one after all. Since everyone is gathered, why don't we start? My heart felt heavy, but it was my duty to speak. Paul was no longer here to do it for me. But Father isn't here yet, Norn said anxiously in protest. Would she be angry when she learned? I wondered. Perhaps I left. She'd clung to me, crying for me to help him. I
Before I
told her
left.
to leave. Oh, before
Sorry.
I left,
Yeah.
she clung to. No, you're fine. She clung to me, crying for me to help him. I told her to leave everything to me. She would probably blame me when she learned he was dead. It was fine if she did. I was the one who failed to grant her wish. I glanced around at everyone and then said, Our father is... Paul Greyrat is dead. Huh? Norn raised her voice in confusion. Sylphie lowered her head, the heartbreak plain on her face. Aisha's eyes went wide, her fist curling up tight. This is what he left behind, I said, setting out his equipment piece by piece on the table. His sword, his short sword, his armor, and his remains. Just those 4 things. Why? Norn jumped to her feet and approached. But you went! Why did he die? I'm sorry. I wasn't strong enough. But you're... Norn stepped close, as if perhaps she intended to grab me by the collar, but her fury suddenly lost steam. I could see my left hand, or rather lack thereof, reflected in her eyes. Her gaze shifted between that, Paul's leftover belongings, and my face, and tears began to slowly well up in her eyes. I covered my left wrist with my right hand and continued. I'll explain in more detail right now. She sniffed and muttered, Okay. Aisha strode up behind her, grabbing her by the shoulder. For now. Enough! I know! Norn smacked her hand away and stalked back to her seat. Aisha stood idle for a moment before returning to her position behind Sylphie. All right, I'll explain from the beginning. I summarized everything that had happened, how Lise and I set out for Rapon, and reunited with Paul and the others there. How, based on the information we had about Zenith's whereabouts, we dove into the teleportation labyrinth together and started mapping it out. I told them how things went smoothly until we ran up against the Guardian. I'm gonna take a sip here 1 second. How the ensuing fight had been so rough that I had lost my hand and Paul had lost his laugh. That, although we succeeded in rescuing Zenith, she became a husk. Geese interjected immediately to supply additional information as I slowly worked my way through it all. Then finally, Norn asked me, So that means you weren't able to save father or mother or father? That's right. I felt like I could see her hackles rise the moment I nodded. But she didn't explode on me. Instead, she bit her lower lip and stared at my left hand. Did you do everything you could? Yes. I gave it all I had. If you tried that hard and you still failed, then it wouldn't have mattered if... She spoke calmly, but her voice then trailed off. I could see the tears begin to fill her eyes again. I'm sure it wouldn't have mattered. Father is gone. She began to sob, large droplets streaming down her cheeks. Nguyen was crying, loudly, in a voice that pierced me right through the heart. Everyone present wore grave expressions as they listened, and her body shook as she sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. She cried all the tears that the rest of us hadn't, and we just listened as she did so. After a while, she stopped. Her eyes were swollen and bright red. Strained noises kept escaping her throat. But she returned to me, her eyes filled with determination. Big brother? Yes? What is it? I asked. This sword. Can I have it? No one pointed a finger towards Paul's favorite weapon. The one he had with him before I was born. The one he always kept on him. The one that had never left his side. Yeah, sure. You should take it. Don't use it recklessly. Huh? Don't mistake having a sword as a sign that you're suddenly gotten stronger. It had been on my fifth birthday that Paul my blah, blah, blah. It had been on my fifth birthday that Paul handed me a sword and said the very same thing to me. I understand, Norn said, hugging it close to her chest. She was strong. It wouldn't have been unusual for a child her age to hold up in her room and cry. But she was facing Paul's death head on, completely unlike me, who couldn't even crawl back to my feet without Roxy's help. Truly, she was strong. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel again, and we'll see what we get for this number, because I've been kind of going for, I think, enough time. I want to get a good variety of those voices in there.
So are you going up to a certain point, or what are you doing?
Probably should have actually, timed it or something in hindsight.
Well, either timed it or, gotten to, a point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what do we
If you're
think,
just gonna do
15
it
minutes
with
or
where
something?
you feel like it, that's fine. I need to know from here on
That
out.
was kind of I think that was kind of like a safe bet. We could probably go until we feel like we've done enough with the voice.
So you wanna just go until we feel it on vibes?
Feel it, or maybe, I think for that one, yeah, I'll probably let you do that for the next one, and then after that, we'll probably set a timer.
Okay. However you wanna do it.
You want
I
me to
got
set, I'll
water,
just set a
so.
timer, 15 minutes, you think? How long did I read for there?
I mean, counting the times that we were doing some other stuff, probably about, 15 minutes, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll just set
I
a
mean,
timer
I'm
for
fine with
15
it.
minutes.
Just however you wanna do it. Just let me know.
All right. Spinning the wheel. All right, Shem, you're up next. And you will be doing the Doctor.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we
Give me a
decide to
moment.
split his other mementos. Is the line?
Mm-hmm. I know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to okay, I gotta straighten myself up.
Oh, that's
We
right.
decided to split his other mementos up amongst our family. Aisha chose his short sword, and I chose his armor. As for his remains, we would build a proper grave for him and bury him there. At least, that was the plan until Zenith drifted forward and took his armor into her hands. Mother? So we're just doing the characters' voices just as they are, right? Or how we interpret them. And then everything else is that character? Is that how you've been doing it?
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Okay.
just any of the narration stuff was the
Yeah, that's
was the
fine.
character's voice, and
Yeah,
then
that's
everybody
cool.
was just their actual voice.
Okay, just making sure. That's why I picked up on it, just make sure. I called out to her, but she didn't respond. As usual, she just stared blankly ahead like a husk, and yet she'd move as if she understood what was going on here. Or was that just a coincidence? No. Perhaps the core of who she was still remained. Regardless, it meant that I was left with nothing of his, but I was satisfied with that. I'd received so much from him already. Well, hold on. Well then, let's talk about Mother next. Once again, I explained Zenith's condition to them. That she had lost her memories and seemed almost completely empty inside. Will she get better? Sylvie asked. I shook my head. I don't know. I intended to have the medics and healers examine her to be sure, but I'd never heard of healing magics that could restore lost memories. Honestly, we didn't even know the root cause of her condition. We knew she'd been encased in a magically imbued crystal and lost her memories, but that was it. It might well be something akin to oxygen deficiency. I was certain of nothing, of course, but I didn't think the chances of curing her condition were slim. If there was damage to her brain, then the medical technology of this world wouldn't be enough to fix her. Even advanced tier healing magic hadn't done anything. I've read manga or two where inflicting a same level of shock that had made a person lose their memories in the first place snaps them back to normal, but we couldn't test that out on Zenith. Besides, I wasn't sure she'd be happy even if we did cure her. Paul had died trying to save her. I was sure she'd blame herself, saying, if only he hadn't tried to help me. Maybe she was better off not remembering. No, that wasn't right. We should work to restore her memories. Yes. Anyway, she'll need treatment and care, I said. I plan for her to live here with us. If my parents in my previous life had lived, grown old, and become bedridden, would I have looked after them the same way? Lilia had initially said she'd planned to rent separate living quarters so that they wouldn't impede on my life. She'd earn enough from the teleportation labyrinth to live on for a decade or over a decade in this town. I'd shot that idea down flat. I wouldn't allow such thing. Paul wouldn't allow such thing. It was our duty, as her remaining family, to look after her. I plan to entrust her care to Miss Lilia, I continued. But I'm sure everyone will end up having to lend a hand. Very well. I will do my best to help out too, Sophie said gladly. No one seemed to disagree, not that I intended to let them. Paul had told me to save Zenith even if it killed me. Even now, I didn't truly know what he'd meant by that. Or by that. But now that he was gone, it was up to me to protect her. Besides, though I said she needed treatment, it wasn't as though she had Alzheimer's. She was just more or less an empty husk. With Lilia by her side at all times, I was sure she'd be fine, though I would need to gather the necessary supplies for her care. So that means Mother will be living here as well? Aisha blurted out. Or Aisha blurted out, voice filled with confusion and anxiety. Yes, Aisha. Or, hold on. Yes, Aisha. I will be in Lord, or, wait. Yes, Aisha. I will be in Lord Rudius's service. I wondered if Aisha saw Lily as a thorn in her side. Lily had been a strict disciplinarian when she was growing up, and I'd gotten the sense Aisha enjoyed living away from her mother. Still, I didn't feel like it was appropriate for her to express her displeasure here. If she did voice such complaints, I would have to chastise her accordingly. Will we be splitting the work as well? Aisha pressed on. We can discuss that later, said Lilia. I intend to make the mistress's care my primary focus, leaving the majority of the household work to you, Aisha. All right. Aisha didn't protest, but it did look like she was uncomfortable with her mother present. Her voice was stiff, her expression gloomy. Having noticed that, Norn interjected. Hey, Aisha. She put a hand on her sister's shoulder and whispered, You don't have to hold back on our account, okay? Aisha glanced at Norn, then at Lilia, then at me, but again at Lilia and back at me. I wasn't sure why she was looking to me for approval, or what she was looking for approval for, but I nodded nonetheless. Aisha hopped to her feet and threw her arms around Lilia. Mother, Mother, I'm so glad you're safe, she bawled, burying her face in Lilia's stomach. I'm home now, Aisha. Lilia's expression turned gentle as she stroked her daughter's head. Ah, yes, it all made sense. Aisha had to have felt conflicted. Lilia was her mother, after all. I was sure she'd prayed for Paul and Zenith's well-being too, but it was Lilia's safety she'd prayed for above all others. And now that she had returned safely, it was under circumstances too grim for Aisha to express her joy sincerely. Forgive me for doubting you, Aisha. We talked about the variety of things after that, concluding our return announcement. The conversation had included Geese's financial report, proving that we'd come out in the back or in the black, not that our newly deep pockets had done anything to brighten the cloudy expressions on everyone's faces. Now then, or well then, guess we ought to be off to look for it in. As soon as we were finished, Geese took to his feet. Tallhand, Viera, and Shiera followed his lead. I hurried to stop them. I don't mind if you stay here with us today. Boss? Don't be stupid. We got brains enough to know we'd just be getting in the way of your family here. Geese shot back. The other three seemed to agree, moving to retrieve their luggage, pulling on their still damp shoes and coats. In the end, I decided to see them off at the front entrance, and as I watched the four of them recede, I called out again. Everyone, thank you all for the assistance you provided my father all this time. Viera and Shiera, in particular, bowed their heads deep. They had helped Paul ever since his time in Milicion. I hadn't spoken with them very much, but they'd supported us in myriad ways as we dove in and out of the teleportation labyrinth. They were the heroes behind the scenes. No, we should be the ones apologizing for not being more helpful. We'd appreciate it if you let us know where the captain's grave is once you have it finished. Their replies were short. I wondered what Paul had been to them, or to them. They'd followed him to the Zabegare continent even after the Fitoa search and rescue squad disbanded. Perhaps they'd had special feelings for him? But even if they'd loved him, it was all over now. What will you do now? I asked. Once the winter is over, we'll return to the Asura Kingdom. There are other people from the search and rescue squad to whom we are indebted. I see, I said. Well, take care. You as well, Lord Rudius. I know you have a lot on your shoulder from here on out, but take care of yourself. They bowed their heads to me one final time before disappearing into the curtain of falling snow. The search and rescue squad. Oh yeah, Hadn't someone said something about Zenith's family helping finance Paul's activities? Zenith wasn't exactly what you call safe and sound, but we should still inform them that she'd been found. I could at least pen them a letter. As I was preoccupied with those thoughts, Geese slapped on my shoulder from behind. Well, see ya, boss. Mr. Geese, Mr. Tallhand. I looked at each of them. What? Wipe that gloomy look off your face. Or, hold on. It's a, what? Wipe that gloomy look off your face, Geese grumbled. What will you both be doing after this? Geese scratched his head. We plan to head as far as Asura. We want to exchange our Begaret currency and sell these magical items we got. You're going to sell all of them? I asked. Plan to keep a few to use ourselves, but for the most part, yeah. Geese still had one in hand. They'd informed me of what the items did when they appraised them, but most were nothing special. Just random stuff like a short sword that could be used in place of a match. I figured I might find a use for them eventually, so I tossed them into our basement storage area. No matter how ridiculous the effects, they would still fetch us some money if we were ever in a pinch. The magic stones that absorb mana were a separate matter. I wanted to research them once I had the time. If I faced a similar opponent in the future, I didn't want to be a repeat of the labyrinth. I didn't want to be powerless. I might not be skilled enough to get anything out of researching the stones, but I'd rather try than just give up. If you want, if you want, we can take your items along with us to sell in Asura. You'll get a lot more bang for your buck there than you would here, you know? Asura did have a steep price for commodities, and their currency was widely accepted across the central continent. If you were going to sell something, Asura was the place to do it. And let me guess, I said knowingly. On the way back here, you'll gamble it all away and make a run for it? No way. I wouldn't put my hands on your money, boss. His eyes darted back and forth, not looking at me. Perhaps he really did plan to gamble the money away. Well, if not for Geese, we would have never made it through the labyrinth in the first place. I owed him an enormous debt. Geese was trivial by comparison. I'm kidding, I said finally. Well, I did plan to gamble some of it, he confessed, the edges of his lips curling up in an ornery chuckle. And after that, going to continue as an adventurer, Geese shrugged. Those are the only skills we got. All right. Well, we'll be here till spring, so come drink with us when you got time. You said you'd introduce me to a nice female monkey, yeah? I guess since you got a wife and kid on the way, you probably don't frequent those kind of places. True. We wouldn't be seeing the last of each other just yet. Even so, Geese was the kind of man who'd just up and leave on his next adventure without a word in advance. I wanted to at least say my farewells while I had the opportunity. Mr. Geese, I started. Boss, you're talking all funny, you know? Talk to me like you always do, like, hey, newbie. Curious, I asked. Hey, why are you so particular about being called newbie? It's a jinx. A jinx. That word alone should have been an inadequate explanation, but it hit me straight in the heart. If it was one of his jinxes, I couldn't complain. Well, either way, thank you both for everything you've done up until now. I told you, no need. Anyway, take care, boss. Once I had bowed my head low, Geese waved his hand and started to walk off. He's right. He's right. You don't owe us anything. If anyone does, it's be Paul. What I mean is, we don't need any thanks. Tallhand said as he shifted his burly body to follow Geese. I watched until they disappeared. Hold on. Men always want to show off like that, said a voice. I glanced over to see Alina Lee standing beside me, Apparently, she'd been talking to Sophie while I was bidding them farewell. I wondered if it was about Roxy. I told her I had a duty to tell Sophie everything. But being the busybody that she was, Elena Elise might have put in a few words for me. Honestly, I wasn't anxious to have that conversation, or so, I was grateful for her consideration.
All
Well then,
right, time for
no, sorry.
another spin.
Okay,
No, you're good. I just
Go
want
for
to let you finish that paragraph.
yeah, that's fine.
All right. Next reader is me. Okay. Don't
Okay.
know why we have the wheel for two people. I'll be doing. What voice am I going to be doing?
I mean, do you make things either easier? Do you just want to switch off, or do you want to?
We could probably switch off if Moon shows, or yeah, if Moon shows up, then we'll probably put the wheel because honestly,
Yeah, then you
it's a
could put the wheel
50-50
back
shot
on
either way.
because yeah, I mean, it doesn't really do a whole lot with just two people. You know what I mean?
Oh boy, I gotta do Scottish. I don't know how well I could do. I don't know if I've ever done Scottish.
Oh man, if only Moon was here.
Oh,
His
you're
Scottish
gonna
is
have
better
to
than all
put
of
you.
us.
They're gonna have to put you back together in hell.
What do you think of that? Yeah,
Like Shrek, I guess maybe.
yeah. Just channel your best Shrek,
My
the
inner
Scotsman or
Shrek.
Demo Man
Yeah,
somewhere.
man. Yeah, that
It's a
slaps me
little
on the
hard.
knee.
Yeah.
All right, here we
No,
go.
that's heavy. He says that. Oh no, I guess both of them say that.
No. I think Demo says that. That slaps me on the knee.
Yeah. Heavy also says that
It's
too.
a similar accent. Like I think the line kind of like yeah, I can see that. Either one would do it. I think it's pretty sure it's
Yep.
Demo though. Anyway, 15 minutes on the clock.
Mhm.
Well then, I should be off to see Cliff. I don't have much time left. Alina lay straw over her lower abdomen as she spoke. I put her through a lot too. On our way here and back, she slept with a total of 3 different strangers. This was normal for her, of course, and she'd laughed it off. But I couldn't be so flippant. Miss Alina Lees, you really were there for me, I said. She had a bitter look on her face. I'm sorry about Paul. No, that was my mistake. I lost her. My careless. Fuck, I think I'm going Australian. What the fuck? What you have to inhale? My mistake. My carelessness. At least I tried to say as much, but she cut me in. I'm losing it for a sniper for some reason. Hold on, let's see if I can't fix
It's okay.
it.
It's easy to kind of blend.
Yeah, I might just have to blend it. Sorry. Sorry, chat.
Mm.
But you have to gather. My mistake. My carelessness. At least I tried to say as much, but she cut in first. It was my duty in that party to make sure things like that didn't happen. Paul died because of my shortcomings. There was no way that was true. She'd been fighting for our lives back there. None of us could have known what lay in wait after we dodged the Hydra's ultimate attack, and were a single head away from victory. There was only 2 people who could blame her, Alina Lees herself and the deceased Paul. I can't blame you, I said, or anyone else. Then don't blame yourself either. All right. Okay. Time for me to get going. Alina Lee said before dashing out into the snow. There was something important still waiting to hear that she returned. Or there was someone
Someone.
important still waiting to
Mm.
hear that she returned. I let out a long sigh, my breath turning into a visible plume that rose and dissipated amongst the snow. At last, the displacement incident was over, at least for me. All my missing family members had been found. There was probably other victims out there still, but I had no obligation to search for them. It was over. It was the conclusion of a long, frustrating, bitter journey. Now life could move on to the next stage. No looking back. I had to live on and look ahead. There was still so much I had to do in this world, so much I still wanted to do. So let's look to the future. Really? Had everyone already left? A girl's voice called from behind. I glanced over my shoulder to see Roxy standing there. I also wanted to talk to them a bit. It seems they're staying in the city for now, so you can see them again when you have time, I assured. True. Roxy didn't step out into the snow. She remained in the house, the only members of the party who'd done so. Whether she continued to stay here or left to find a room at the inn depended on how our impending discussion went. Well, Roxy, yes? Let's do this. I stepped back inside. Roxy's petite form followed along beside me. Chapter 15. Carnage. Glorious carnage. I don't know if there's a demo thing for the carnage or whatever, but
Dominated. Yeah.
oh, this is gonna slap me on the knee.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. Anyway,
Scrumpet, yeah.
you little Yeah. Oh yeah. When
Well,
Norn,
that's
we
the
get to
drink.
Norn.
That's the drink.
Oh,
No,
is
no,
that
no. It's
really?
just the
Wait, is that?
no. That's the drink. When he says scrumpy, he means the drink.
Wait, so the thing that he wait, the thing he drinks, is that what it's called
Yeah,
then?
he calls it scrumpy. Yeah,
I never knew
I can
that.
fact that check, but yeah, that's when he says scrumpet. He's like he drinks. He takes like a swig.
Okay, so Scrumpy or Scrumpet? Oh, hey, Moon.
No, scrumpy, because it's a type of cider.
Scrumpy?
Yeah,
Okay, Moon, I want to double check this. I'm not doubting you, Shem, but I just won't take. Is the drink that Demo Man drinks, is that called Scrumpy? Do you know that?
yeah, that's what he says.
Like,
And he
actually, I
drinks
can
anything, but
genuinely-
yeah,
Well, okay, all right, no, you know what? No, I'm googling this. I want to know what is the drink that Demo Man drinks in TF2. What is it called? It's primary whiskey, especially the default weapon. Blah, blah, blah.
Scrumpy.
Other drinks.
yeah, he's a
What
scrumpy.
was that?
Scrumpy.
It is Scrumpy?
Yeah, he even has a
Oh,
voice
oh.
line when he chugs.
Well, I know. I guess I never played him that much, so I guess I wouldn't have heard it. He's not like the grenade character is not one. I'd imagine I've seen people play him and like very skilled people play like holy shit, but I can never get those pipes to land.
Mm.
All right, so real quick, Moon, I'm gonna add you into the wheel. Do you want me to roll now? I'm gonna pause the timer just for the sake of it. Do you want me to spin the wheel now and see if you get on, or do you want me to finish my time, allocated time, and then do it?
How much time do you got left?
About 9 minutes.
I mean that's up to Moon. He just came in.
I'll go back to 10 because we did talk for a minute there.
Go ahead and finish.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll go ahead. I'll start from 10 minutes and then we'll spin the wheel. Carnage. We're at 15, by the way.
Mm.
5 people remained in the living area. Sylphie, Norn, and Aisha. Roxy, oops, sorry. That spacing was weird. Aisha, Roxy, and myself. There was also the armadillo, Dillo as I named him, sprawled out by the fireplace, with a look of bliss on its face. But you could hardly count it among our numbers. Lilia, was it? I forget. Lilia? Am I saying that wrong?
No, Lilia's right.
Lilia? Okay, I'm making sure. Let's double
Yeah.
checking. Lilia was helping Zenith into the bath. Before entering, she come to me to ask if I was all right, or if it was all right, and I nodded. I wanted to get through this discussion without relying on her aid. Rather than return to her room, Norn lingered. She was having a rough time of it, still audibly sniffling. She'd been incredibly attached to Paul, and was taking the loss exceptionally hard. Well, there is one last thing I have to talk about. When I said as much, the 3 of them returned to their seats. I exchanged looks with Roxy, who quietly wandered over beside me. All the darts represented as pipes. Just imagine I fire like 3 pipes off real quick, awkwardly. Seeing how swollen Sylphie's belly was made me hesitate. But I had a responsibility. Eventually, Roxy would be in the same state of pregnancy. If Sylphie refused to take her in, would Roxy give birth all by herself? That was the agreement we'd made, but if that really did happen, then I planned to support her however I could, financially or otherwise. I'd like to take Roxy as my second wife, I blurted out. Huh? The one who voiced her confusion wasn't Sylphie, but rather Norn. Sylphie just had a blank look on her face. What are you talking about? Norn demanded. Let me explain everything in order. I started by recounting what had happened on the Begarit continent, how Paul had died, and I'd fallen into a deep depression. And as a result, I told them how Roxy had been the one to save me, and that I developed feelings for her as a result. However, I deeply respected her and wanted her to become a part of our family now. Or how I deeply respected her. It wasn't my intention to betray Sylphie, but in the end, I did break my promise. I'm sorry. I got down on my knees. There was a rug stretched out across the floor, but the winters in the northern territory were cold, so naturally the carpet was as well. I bent forward and pressed my head to the floor. Huh? Wait, Rudy? I heard Sylphie's panicked voice call out from above. I still love Sylphie as much as before, but it seems I may have gotten Roxy pregnant. I need to take responsibility for that. The more I spoke, the cheaper my words sounded, even though they were really my true feelings. When I peered up, Sylphie had a troubled look on her face. Perhaps she was confused. I couldn't blame her for that. I'd told her that I loved her, sworn I'd come back no matter what. Now I'd returned in shambles, minus a family member and my left hand. She might have thought she could at least rejoice because I was safe, but here I was, saying I wanted to take another woman as my wife, in her place. I would have wailed, screamed, and lashed out. But still, I asked for the impossible. Sylphie, please forgive me. There's no way she can! The one who shrieked back at me was Norn, not Sylphie. She stomped right over and grabbed me by the collar of my shirt. How could you say that? Did you know how she felt the entire time she was waiting for you to come home? Dots. Every day she said, I hope Rudy is okay, and I miss Rudy, and I wonder if Rudy is eating right now. Do you know how lonely she looked? How lonely she sounded the whole time? I didn't know. I didn't know at all, but I could imagine it. The expression on her face as she waited for me. How lonely she sounded. How she might sit in a chair with nothing else to do but tap her foot as she waited. I figured I couldn't blame you for not being able to save father if... Oop, turn page. If things were so rough that you even lost your left hand, but then there was nothing anyone could do. So it seemed wrong to blame you for it. But now you're telling me you had enough composure during all of that to have sex with another woman? And now you want to make her your wife? No, I wasn't composed at all. I was depressed. That's why Roxy put her own feelings on the line to save me. Miss Sophie would have done the same thing for you if you had been there. Norn snapped back. Of course Sylphie would have saved me if she had been there. She'd cured my impotence after all. But the one who actually saved me was Roxy. Even though she had feelings for me, even though she knew I already had someone, she resolved to do it, even knowing that she might get tossed aside afterwards. Or she might be tossed aside afterwards. Norn, you should understand how it feels. Norn, you should understand how it feels. locking yourself in your room, feeling like you're so deep in a hole that you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel? How are you supposed to cast aside the person who saved you from that? I argued. I do know. I'm grateful to you for helping me through that. But this is totally separate. This is a totally separate matter. Lord Millis would never permit someone taking a second wife. Oh, that's right. No one was a follower of Millis. No, her religion wasn't the issue here. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I was doing something wrong and trying to strong arm my way into being in the right. Besides, why that tiny girl? She's not any different from me. Norn glared at Roxy. Roxy returned the youngest girl's gaze with her usual poker face. She was taller than Norn, but barely so. Maybe even less than centimeters worth. In the face of my youngest sister's hostile gaze, Roxy remained unfazed as she muttered, I may be small, but I'm still an adult. I wondered what she was going to say. Her voice trembled, an open door to her heart. But the words were such that they could be construed as
Impertinent.
impertinent. Sorry, I was going to drink a thing there.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Norn was infuriated. If you're such an adult, don't you feel like you're being shameless? Dots. Don't you feel bad for barging into their relationship? Norn, that's going too far. I'm the one who said I wanted to bring her into our family. Roxy's done nothing wrong. She's the one who tried to back out of it. I objected with a firm voice. Norn didn't even glance over at me, but just continued her verbal onslaught on Roxy. You stay quiet, she barked at me. Besides, if she really did try to back out, then why is she still here, clinging to you? She's just taking advantage of your offer. I honestly thought about slapping her, and it went without saying, I didn't have the right to do such a thing. If I slapped her, I felt like I really would be complete scum. Dots. Roxy felt silent as Norn shouted her down. She looked as indifferent as usual, her eyes turned to the floor. Finally, she lifted her head up and bowed it towards Norn. You're right. It is shameless of me. I apologize. She then stood up straight and drifted over to the edge of the room. She picked up her luggage, placed her hat on her head, and moved quickly towards the exit. I couldn't even stop her. I knew we'd face resistance. We knew not to underestimate how difficult it would be for everyone to accept this. But I thought I could convince them. That had been naive. Now here we were, and Roxy had been lambasted for her part. She probably felt like she was walking on a bed of nails, and things might keep being that painful with her if she stayed here. All right, make sure to stop timer so it doesn't blare the noise. All right. Next up, we have who is reading next. All right, Shem, you will be doing Wheel of Morality. Turn. Pyro, so muffled.
That's a.
You want me to roll? You want me to take Pyro off the wheel?
Yeah. I mean, it's a funny
Pyro's
bit, but it's
kind
like
of-
it's not gonna work if we go. And then
Yeah,
nobody's
you're
gonna
just literally
fucking
doing
know.
that. I just put it
It's
on
a
there just
funny
for
bit, but
formality.
it's gonna drive the audience nuts, especially we do
Yeah,
it for an
plus this is
extended
probably
15
not
minutes.
the time for him to be in this, so I'll
Yeah,
go ahead and roll again.
I appreciate the bit, but it's okay.
Yeah, if it wasn't such a serious scene.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Sniper.
Okay, I can do that. Mirror. No one would choose to stay with that possibility in mind. Even I would race for the door, unable to withstand it. I couldn't leave her here with such a bitter taste in her mouth. That wasn't how I wanted this to end. I wanted to repay her for everything she'd done. Not bring her here just so she could be dragged through the mud. I brought her here so I could make her happy. And yet, no matter how I felt, I couldn't stop her. I couldn't hold her back. Maybe I couldn't make her happy? No, think. Roxy would be out the door any second now. I at least needed to stop her. Even if it meant slapping Norn. Even if it meant making my little sister hate me, Wait! A voice called out from behind. Miss Roxy! Oh, sorry, that's different. Wait! A voice called out from behind. Miss Roxy, please wait. It was Sylphie. She took to her feet and hurried over, grabbing Roxy by the hand. Roxy glanced back, her eyes welling up with tears. Why are you stopping her? Norn gasped. Just let her go. Norn, could you please be quiet? Dumbfounded, Norn squeaked. Huh? You are being far too harsh with this whole time. I never expressed any objections, said Sylphie. Norn froze, lost for words. Please sit, Sylphie said, turning her back on Norn in favor of guiding Roxy to a place on the sofa. Roxy perched herself on top of it willingly with no signs of resistance. Then Sylphie took a place beside her. I was a little confused at first. So, it seems you're the one who saved Rudy, Miss Roxy. Roxy tentatively nodded. Yes, but I did have an ulterior motive, and I don't intend to make any excuses for that. Yes, agreed Sylphie. Well, Rudy is really handsome. I wouldn't have believed you if you'd said you didn't have any ulterior motives. I think if I had been in your place, I'd have done the exact same thing. Sylphie smiled at Roxy, a gentle expression on her face. Roxy's stiff in contrast. Sylphie kept smiling as she continued. To be honest, I figured it was just a matter of time. What was a matter of time? Roxy asked, confused. Rudy bringing home another woman. Just a matter of time before I brought... Hold on. Just another matter of time before I brought... I'm going like southern. This isn't right. Hold on.
Yeah, don't worry too
Just,
much about it. I did the same thing.
yeah, just, hold on. Just a matter of time before I brought another girl. Wait. This means she didn't actually trust me? You know, Rudy's a pervert, right? I figured he'd do it with someone else if I wasn't around. But he's loyal, so I figured if he did do it with someone else, he would want to bring her into our family, just like he did with me. I didn't think I'd be able to have him all to myself forever. I want to protest, but she completely hit the bullseye. I'm going to like fucking southern. Okay, hold on. But she'd completely hit the bullseye. I had no right to say anything. Honestly, I figured if he
I
was
might have
going
an
to bring
idea to
anyone
help you with
home.
that.
Eh,
Try say goodbye to your head, wanker. That
Yeah.
might be a lead in to help.
I mean, I have to like pull my throat back in a very weird direction, but I'll try. Wave goodbye to your head. Okay, so I gotta like,
Yeah.
okay. Honestly, I figured if he was going to bring home anyone, it would be Linnea, Prasenna, or Miss Nanahoshi. Roxy commented. I've not heard one of those names, except for Miss Nanahoshi. They're his friends at school. They're all very sexy, with huge breasts. Well, Nanahoshi isn't necessarily that sexy. Or hold on. This is a weird sentence from Sniper. Well, Nanahoshi isn't necessarily that sexy. No, now we're like, demo man, hold on. This is actually surprisingly hard. Hold on.
Yeah, I feel like we should have swapped. You should have did
I
demo. I
don't
should have did
know.
sniper.
I don't do either of these accents very well, but I'll try.
Well, it's good.
Half the
It's good to have
entertainment
this
is
accent,
Because I do them
watching
both
me.
very well.
Yeah,
I
you
know,
can do any of the
you're the one
TF2
not
characters pretty
reading,
well.
which sucks.
I mean, I'll still try.
Oh yeah.
That's the best way to do
Well,
it. Just try.
Nanahoshi isn't
Mhm.
necessarily that sexy. I probably
It's
Ah!
sexy.
yeah. Hold on. I protested inwardly. Wait, that doesn't matter right now. Truthfully, what I heard of your trip, sounded brutal, and there was Paul's death as well. I completely forgot the possibility he might have hooked up with someone else. That's why I was so surprised when I heard. Sylvie paused. But it does make sense. What does? Roxy asked. Ever since you got here, you've been staring over at him with an anxious look on your face. I figured what that was all about, or I wondered what that was all about. At first, I thought it was because you were nervous about him announcing Paul's death, but this is what it was actually all about. Sylvie continued. You had the eyes of a woman in love, Miss Roxy. The eyes of a woman in love. When Roxy heard that, her voice heated up. I'm sorry for making you witness something so unpleasant. She lowered her head, cheeks still red as a tomato. From the wife's point of view, it wouldn't be pleasant to watch another woman look lovingly at her husband, but... hold on. Yeah, from a wife's point of view, it couldn't be pleasant to watch another woman look lovingly at her husband. Or husband. I could understand Roxy thinking that way. But Sylvie merely shook her head. It wasn't unpleasant. But Roxy began protest. How should I put this? Sylvie tilted her head, lost in thought, and almost as quickly nodded. You know, Rudy always talked to me about you, Miss Roxy. What did he say? Things like, she's the only magician I respect. He talked the same way about you before the displacement incident as well as after. Roxy shifted awkwardly in her seat. I'm not sure what to say, but I feel bad you had to hear that. Well, that was why I did feel a bit jealous as well. Sophie confessed. He had such admiration in his eyes every time he talked about you. ... I thought to myself, this Roxy Migurdia person is such an incredible magician. There's no way I could ever stand shoulder to shoulder with her. But now that I've actually seen you and know you're just a normal girl who loves Rudy, that jealousy is gone. That means you're just the same as me, Sylvie said as she lifted Roxy's hat away and caressed her face. Excuse me. Let me get some. Roxy just stared back at the other woman and let it happen. And as she continued stroking, Sylvie said, Norn may have expressed her opposition, but I welcome you. Roxy's face colored with surprise. I too. Or yeah. I too felt my jaw drop in shock. I never dreamed Sylvie would accept so easily. Sylphiette, Miss, Roxy said haltingly. Just Sylvie is fine. I hope we'll get along. Rox? I'm actually 50 years old as of this year, so that kind of nickname sounds a bit too childish. Oh, all right. Sylvie nodded to herself. You're older than me then. Sorry about that. Now that I think about it, Rudy did mention... Oh, sorry, that's her. You're older than me then. Sorry about that. Now that I think about it, Rudy did mention that but seeing you, it just didn't register. Well, I am petite, Roxy admitted. I'm not all that big myself. The two of them looked at one another, holding hands, and laughed. Well, Roxy, let's support Rudy together then. Thank you, Sophie. Holy shit, look at the lens flare on that. After the day shared those words, yeah, just blah. They shook hands. The gesture radiated a curious sort of solidarity, and seeing it, I let out a sigh of relief. And, an unconscious reaction that slipped from me the moment I thought things would be okay. Holy shit, it's like rubber banding. Norn glanced at me and furrowed brows. If Miss Sophie is willing to, or accepting of it, then I have nothing more to say. Apparently, Sheila wasn't quite on board with it yet. She frowned slightly, clearly still displeased as she glared over at us. Perhaps I earned her contempt, or her contempt once again. It's like, what? How do I play with this? Hold on. It was Sylphie who, hold on. It was that Sheila Sylphie who pacified her by saying, holy fuck, how does one do this? I have to practice it
Pacified?
a lot more. I don't listen
you
to
know
It
what?
was a
anything
Sheila
Australian.
Sylphie who pacified us by saying.
Honestly,
Yeah,
Shem,
I don't
my
watch
best-
anything Australian.
I would
This
actually.
is
Here's the thing.
Holy
Crocodile
shit.
Dundee and Crocodile Hunter.
This is
Or
not-
even
yeah, I know
just
that.
Robert Irwin on YouTube.
Okay, I
I
should
would
just
even-
listen to just different accents across the board.
I was actually
just
going to say.
just to
it helps.
practice. If this is going to be a staple of our reading, I really have to stop embarrassing myself right now.
I would.
You
no,
are not
you're fine,
embarrassing
man.
yourself.
I feel
like
bad because
anyone
I'm not
who's
making
ever
as much
had to
progress.
learn and practice
God, because I don't want
accents
to.
knows
I don't
that
want to
you can't
sound
get it
like
perfect the
insultingly
first
bad.
time.
It's true. It's hard.
Yeah,
It's like,
no.
whatever the fuck.
Here's what I would propose, Shem.
Okay.
Look, like if you ever.
Ugh.
This is an old game,
This
but
is
all the
annoying.
characters are Australian. Look up Ty the Tasmanian tiger.
Oh my
tiger.
god. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
that
an
wouldn't
old
be a
game,
bad
like
one.
an old game.
I know what you're
So it's
talking about.
everyone
Like,
that
holy
is
fuck.
Australian.
Mhm.
Okay,
The
I'll have to
only
get back to you
reason
on
I
that.
have any ability to do the accents that I do is because I started from really young. Like
Yeah,
I
and that's
started trying
understandable.
accents soon
Well, I don't
after
know
I could speak
also
because I just mimicked things
anyone
a lot.
Australian in IRL either. So I feel like if I talk to them
I mean, neither
naturally,
do
it would
I.
start kind of happening. I know, but I'm like,
I
you did
have
the
Oh, yeah,
only
you'll
research.
develop the
interaction
I haven't
with
listened to like
British people
anything
and
Australian.
one French person through text only.
Yeah, and so no, there's. I need to practice with this. If TF2 is going to be our common staple wheel game, then I really have to practice it because that's. Oof.
Honestly, the only IRL person I can think of is actually like Rubber Ross, who I know is Australian, but he doesn't have an accent unless he's talking to someone Australian.
Yeah, yeah. So I know what you're talking about,
Wait,
but nah,
Is it Rubber Ross? I thought he was South African.
I have no idea.
he was
Honestly,
Australian.
Okay,
I have no idea.
Lord.
I didn't
can't
want to
fucking
assume.
remember.
Anyway, forgive him, Norn. Rudy's not a follower of Millis, but Norm started a protest. Mr. Paul had 2 wives as well, didn't he? She went quiet for a moment before saying, or she went, hold on. Sheila went quiet for a moment before saying, true, he did. Sylphie continued, would you say the same kind of things to Miss Lilia then? Norn's eyes open in surprise. Hold on. This is some of these words I wouldn't know what they would. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's like It's like
Yeah.
how would
Norn's eyes widened in surprise.
widened in surprise.
With a lot of the I words, you're kind of adding an O to it.
Yeah. Sheila turned to look at Aisha, who was sitting beside her. Something like that.
Oh, watch Bluey.
Aisha.
There you go.
Yeah.
Watch Bluey.
Okay, that'll work then.
Ooh, good call.
I have
Dan.
always wanted to watch the show, so
It's really good.
Aisha
all
had been
Australian.
quiet
It's
the whole
wonderful.
time. Her face, the picture of composure. Oh, I'm sorry, Aisha, Nolan said. It's fine, really. I know you often say things without thinking them through. Why did you have to put it like that? Look, what just happened, Aisha pointed out, that wasn't your place to speak. You kept going on about Miss Sylvie and her feelings, but really, you were just forcing your beliefs on everyone else. What? Nolan hopped to her feet. I saw her fists at her side and jump in to scold Aisha. Aisha, you went too far. But I cut her off. Or I cut her off. I understand what Norna's saying too. If Sophie had said the same things herself, I wouldn't it wouldn't have or it would have been understandable. I'm equally at fault for not considering how everyone would feel. We can't blame Norn. Well, I guess, if you say so. Norn had a conflicted look on her face, as if unsure what to say. She must have felt uncomfortable standing there, because her next words were, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed too. Holy shit, this is like, I have to like think about where to pull my lungs.
Hold on, yeah, I'm trying. I lost track of where we are. You're good. You're done.
Her
with
feet,
this.
yeah. Oh, okay.
I have to find where we're at just in case.
Her
Norn
feet
hopped
were
to her
quick as
feet.
she moved the duck out of the living room. That's where we are. So like 93% of the way through. We could probably
Okay.
maybe finish it.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see.
That was harder than I thought it would
Okay.
be. I can't. I just gotta go watch Bluey. That's the bottom line.
It'll
I'll watch
help.
my
Yeah.
Bluey.
All right.
Yeah.
Bluey's a good one. Again,
Yeah,
I
because I was like,
playing, the old tie
okay,
games.
I'm trying to channel less Outback Steakhouse and more Number 4 or Bluey or
It's like no. Oh, when you say Outback
Wallaby.
Steakhouse, I'm thinking like diners, drives-in, and dines.
No, that's no. But it kept
Yeah,
like
no, I know what you mean.
pulling towards like Southern rich man voice, which is like,
Yeah,
how
I
does
know.
that happen? How does that happen?
For-
Tell me.
For me, it was weird
I
because when I
see.
was doing demo, I was being pulled into Sniper. So
Yeah,
I was being
it's
pulled
hard.
into the Australian
It's really
so
hard
much.
because I heard it.
Honestly,
And I was like,
I didn't hear who you were reading for, so the whole time I did think you were doing Sniper, and I was like, that's a pretty
Yeah,
good
exactly.
Yeah. It's a good job, mate. Yeah, and something like that.
Hey,
Sniper's a good
I
job
just,
there.
I just
job,
gotta
mate.
watch. Yeah, put Dad on the phone.
One
Yeah,
down, 71 to go. Come on, let's get a move on.
yeah,
Okay.
something like that. Well, because I also don't know specific
Oh.
ticks verbally.
So
Sorry,
the
go ahead.
best way to think of it, instead of saying I words, you're saying OI. So
Oi.
like noise. Like
Oi,
noise.
okay.
So sniping's a good job, mate.
It's a good
and
job, mate.
job becomes job.
Job. Okay.
Job. So it's more of a
Okay.
it's got a light
Oi.
ah sound in it. So
Okay.
sniping's a good job, mate.
Job,
So-
mate. Okay.
Yeah. It's once you figure out the vowels, the rest of it kind of becomes a little
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I was trying to figure out because I was like, wait a minute, how
Guarantee
would they
you'll
say
not
this
go
word?
hungry. Yeah,
Because
It
like
also
some of the
doesn't
words
help
I'm
that
trying
we're
to
And
doing
think.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's
Yeah.
not a
spoken
hard
dialogue
H
is
either.
normal.
It's not a hard H at all.
Won't go
It's-
hungry.
I
Yeah.
guarantee you won't go hungry. Like you
Yeah.
barely hear the H. So it's more like hungry than hungry.
Hungry. Okay.
Yeah. I guarantee you won't go hungry.
Yeah.
Be
As
professional.
long
I
as
know some
two
of them.
people.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they won't even say
Polite.
like,
No,
Look,
now,
I
see,
have a
Yeah.
plan.
see,
They'll
here's
use
the
like
thing.
me.
Here's the thing with the word polite. Instead of saying
Yeah.
polite, I say polite. Polite.
Polite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be polite.
Be
Yeah.
polite. Be polite.
I have a
Yeah,
plan
exactly.
to kill everyone you meet.
Everyone you meet.
Everyone you
It's
meet.
like,
bam, 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 bam,
It
Yeah.
sucks
bam,
that
bam,
we can't. I mean, we can technically just be like, we should just hop on TF2 real quick.
Well,
and just
one's
play
a-
like the
hold on.
specific characters and like listen to the voices and whatever. But we're in
well,
the middle
one's a
of
trained
reading, so-
assassin.
Or,
the other
or
one's
just
mental
watch
sickness.
the
Well, one
Meet
trained
the
assassin,
Team
the other one's mental
videos.
illness.
Sickness.
Yeah.
That's true.
Put mom on the phone.
Yeah. Pop mom on the
Put mom
phone.
on the phone.
Yeah, I should
Yeah.
probably just watch Bluey. That's
mom on the
that's the
phone.
solution. Watch Bluey. Watch that
Yeah.
trailer again. Because, like I said, I don't indulge
Yeah.
in like any media with the Australian people in it that I come
No,
to
it's-
think
yeah, I
about.
don't,
So it's
not
like,
as
oh
much
fuck,
either.
how do I do
I just
this?
have a couple of lucky good references from my childhood.
French is like, okay, it's like, okay, I can scrounge that out somewhere. Yeah. Mi petit chauffeur, something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's
Let's
like,
see
okay.
who goes next.
Yeah.
Spinning the wheel. Moon.
Yay.
Gonna get some
He can do
read
any of these
info. Let's see
voices,
who you
so
get.
we can
Let's
actually
see
plow
who
through
you
this.
get. All right,
believe
wheel
in him.
morality. Turn. Tell us the lesson we should learn. Ooh, how
got an ice cube.
convenient. It's spy.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Are you also taking the voices off as they get picked, or are you respinning it if they already been picked, or are you just letting it go?
Yeah, well,
I was just curious.
what happened was actually with the last one is it was me doing demo again, but because we already did that, I re-rolled again.
Okay, just curious.
That way we get a lot of variety in.
Interessante. Okay.
All right, you're up.
Yep. Her feet were quick as she moved to duck out of the living room. But then she stopped, as if she'd just remembered something and looked back at me. Big brother? What is it? Was she going to make one last scathing remark? That was my fear. But what came out of Norn's mouth next defied my expectations. Would you teach me swordsmanship when you have the time? Huh? It was so sudden that, for a moment, the words made no sense to me. Swordsmanship. Was she going to try using Paul's sword? Part of me felt like a half-baked attempt at self-defense would only be self-destructive at best. But this world wasn't like my previous one. It might probably do her some good to learn swordsmanship. Even a little power was better than none. The bigger issue was whether I would be any good as a teacher. Are you sure you want me to teach you? I asked. I can't approve of what you've done, but I don't hate you either. Okay. I'd actually been asking if she was sure she wanted me to teach her when I'd only dabbled in the art myself, but I couldn't turn her down now that she'd indirectly admitted she still liked me. I went Russian there.
Just as long as you don't ask her to seduce you, it's fine.
Seduce me! All right.
With the sword!
I said.
Honestly, still doesn't feel out of character for Rudy.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouting at his sister, seduce me! Does not.
Which Norn wouldn't, but Aisha?
Yeah.
I feel like he
she
would go on as like, mastering the sword is like mastering love.
I am not one of your fried chicken floozies.
Yep.
I am a woman. I like my men dangerous.
Mysterious.
Mysterious.
Wants
Serious.
to be my lover? Yeah.
Seduce me! God damn.
Yeah. It's good.
Got a bucket of chicken.
Want to do it?
About
Yeah,
a month.
okay.
About a month into her training, he just looks over. I think it's going pretty well.
Yeah.
I think it's going pretty well. Yeah.
As he eats a bucket of chicken himself.
Congratulations. You are a failure. Hooray.
Father would be
You're
very
ready.
disappointed in you.
Yeah.
What? Really? I'm ready?
No, everything you said just sounds crazy.
Yeah.
All right, I said.
Everything you said was insane.
Yeah.
All right.
I said. I'll make time to teach you after school or something. Please do. Once she said that, Norn was off to her bedroom on the second floor. In the end, I'd been absolutely helpless. Sylvie had rescued me with her generosity. Big brother, Aisha called to me. You look really pathetic right now, you know?
Damn.
Unable to say anything in my defense, I just nodded. After that, the three of us, Sylvie, Roxy, and I, began talking about how things would work from now on. Such as the order in which we'd spend our nights together, and how we'd negotiate quality time. The discussion was frank enough that Aisha took her leave. Well then, Miss Roxy, I look forward to living together. Oh, wait, no, that was. Well then, Miss Roxy, I look forward to living together, said Aisha. Yes, me too. Aisha grumbled under her breath as she went, but she was smiling even as she did so. What was up with her? Well, whatever. Sylvie, Roxy, and I had the future to discuss. Some people might be aghast. We could discuss such things. When Paul had just died, but that was precisely why I wanted a more cheerful topic of conversation. Please make Sylvie your main priority, Rudy. Just a little bit of your attention when you have free time is enough for me, said Roxy. Nonsense. We must be fair, Sylvie insisted. But he may... Hold on. He may
He's
yet
got
take
two
on
wives.
more
He's got to take
wives.
care of her.
Right? He may yet take on more wives, so let's not be bashful. More? I could tell how little faith she had in my lower half from that word alone. Honestly, right now I just feel overwhelmed with guilt about this whole thing. I'll just stay on the sidelines until your baby is born, said Roxy. So that's how you feel. Sylvia nodded thoughtfully. Well, there is only a little more than a month until the delivery. You don't mind if I take all that time for myself? I don't. Then let's wait until next month for me to officially become your wife, Rudy. Dots. I was probably an awful person for finding it a disappointment that I'd have to live the celibate life for the next month. But when I started to think about how I'd be able to have sex with both of them as much as I wanted after Sylvie gave birth, my body downstairs began to rise up in salute. Dots. Dots. As those fantasies solidified in my head, both women turned their gazes toward me. Rudy? Sylvie called over to me. If you absolutely can't wait, let me know, okay? We'll do something about it. Oh no, I'll take care of it myself. No matter how much of a horn dog I was. Oh wait, I know. Yeah, whatever. I wasn't going to cheat any more than I already had. I wanted her to trust that I, Rudy's grey lad, would not falter again. The only reason I had wavered was because of the unique situation I'd been in, and because my partner was Roxy. As long as I never wound up in a depressive spiral and had a woman of Roxy's caliber appear before me, I'd never cheat again. Ever. Oh, but you said Roxy is pregnant as well? In that case, if we wait a month, you won't be able to have sex with her either. What'll we do then? Sylvia wondered anxiously. Roxy, looking ashamed, said, about what Rudy said regarding that. I think he was lying. I didn't get the opportunity to say as much, but I'm not actually pregnant. Huh? I blurted out. She wasn't? Then what the heck was Lena Lee talking about before? Oh. She'd baited me right into a trap. That jerk! Damn it. And I danced right into the palm of her hand. What is it, Rudy? Roxy asked. Nothing, but let me just clear the air and say I wasn't lying. It was just a misunderstanding on my part. Oh, all right then. Roxy scratched at her cheeks, face red. But I look forward to it someday. Oh, yeah, me too, I said. The words, the words, happy family planning came to mind, putting a smile on my face. I truly was looking forward to what was to come. Rudy's a perv, isn't he? Teased Sylvie. Yes, I certainly am, I agreed. I wonder what our pervy Rudy is going to do to me, Roxy wondered aloud. We continued to talk and laugh together, and that was how I came to have a second wife. We prepared a room for Lilia and my mother after that after they finished their bath. Then we retired for the night. Just as we'd previously discussed. Just as we'd previously discussed, I was spending the night with Sylphie. I made a pillow for her with my arm, and we nestled close, her body facing mine. But we had yet to fall asleep. We were both gazing at one another quietly. About our conversation before, she began, being the first to speak. I had something absolutely tragic pictured in my mind when you said you had something to talk about, and you had Roxy standing beside you. What's that? I asked. I thought you might tell me that you couldn't love me anymore and you wanted to leave me. I would never say that. What kind of sleazebag would say something like that? Yeah, I know. Sylvia rustled around. I could feel something press against the stump where my left hand had once been. Sylvie's fingers. She was stroking it. But I was still anxious. I don't know why. I just got the feeling you weren't going to come back to me. A sense of foreboding? Well, this had been quite the close call. It wouldn't have been surprising if I had died. I glanced at Sylphie. Did I worry you? Yes. It's okay now. I stroked her head with my right hand. Her eyes crinkled as she leaned into my touch. Her hair was a beautiful pale color. It had grown while I was gone. Your hair is getting longer. Because you said you like long hair. You're doing it for me? Yeah. She had waited for me this entire time. And I'd been stupid enough to... I'm sorry, Sophie, for breaking my promise to you. She shook her head. It's fine. I love you the way you are. But if you'd done the same to me, I would have screamed and cried like a baby and lashed out at you for betraying me. I know I would. She giggled. But I wouldn't do that to you. I don't have eyes for anyone but you, Rudy. Sylvie pressed her face close, pecking me on the cheek. A wave of affection came bubbling up from within my chest. I would love Sylvie for the rest of my life. Ma petite chauffeur. She must have been worried, must have wanted to wail at me, and still, she accepted everything without a single complaint. Sylvie, I whispered. As repayment for her kiss, I gave her one of my own, planting my lips against her soft, squishy cheek. That's Normally, this was the prelude for our lovemaking, but we'd stop here for today. I couldn't push her body, not when it was heavy with child. Went Russian again. Not when it was heavy with child.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But just then, I felt something wriggle against my lower abdomen. Come on, Sylvie. We can't do that. If you start touching me down there, I'm not going to be able to hold off. I mean, I am interested in pregnancy sex, but no, we can't, Rudy. She said at the same time. It wouldn't be good for the baby. Huh? Oh, wait, what? So, oh, I was confused, so I read ahead to figure out what was going on. Okay. Suddenly, we both looked down. There, just beside Sylvia's swollen belly, was a dense, mountainous lump. We folded the blanket back to discover Dillo? The enormous armadillo had slipped its head in from the base of the bed, just between Sylvie and myself. When had this thing gotten in here? I hadn't even noticed it enter.
The return of
That's what
Cain.
she said.
Right? Pervy little thing sticking its head in people's crotches. I laughed. Just like you, Rudy. No, I started to protest. then thought better of it. Ah, well, I guess you can sleep with us for tonight. Yeah, that sounds good. I slipped out of bed, produced a second blanket, and created a spot on the floor beside our bed for Dillo to sleep in. It sprawled out across it and closed its eyes. The creature had the appearance of an armadillo, but it was basically like a large dog. We'd have to build it a kennel down the road. Keeping it inside was all well and good, but it'd be a pain if it started clapping in here. That wasn't even French. Hold on. Parlez-vous français? We'd have to build a kennel down the
Sacre
road.
bleu.
Yeah. Keeping it inside was all well and good, but it'd be a pain if it started clapping in here. Wait, I guess we could always. Ah, wait, I guess we could always just train it to be housebroken like a dog. Well, that was a conversation we could have later as a family. Shall we go to sleep? I started to slip back into bed on Sylphie's right, but stopped and returned to her left side instead, so I could hold her hand with my right one. She gave it a powerful squeeze. Good night, Sylphie. Yeah, glad you're home, Rudy. And then I was out like a light.
Yeah. Glad you're home, traitor.
Okay. New chapter. Do we want to roll again?
No. It's 10 o'clock. If you're going to finish, you better hurry the hell up because we're trying to get done with this month, I guess.
I mean, you're like another minute from being in the reroll anyway.
Okay, so where are we at? What
Chapter 16.
16.
Yeah, I think it's the last chapter.
Oh, good. How much is left? That's the question. Okay. Yeah, 16 before his grave. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 pages. Who can get through 12 pages in 25 minutes?
Me or Shim?
All right.
You want me just to re-roll the voice one for you, Moon?
No, just re-roll who's reading. Just re-roll who's reading between the two of them. We don't have. We're not going to do voices on this one because that'll take forever.
Oh, okay.
On this
Yeah.
chapter.
On this
Okay.
chapter, you finish up on this chapter. I more or less got the scene finished, which is nice.
All right, Moon, finish us up, but in normal voice. The wheel
Alright.
has decided.
Yeah.
A few days had passed since I took Roxy as my wife. Lately, my fear that another disaster was about to strike had gradually begun to fade. The future seemed brighter than that, though I had still had a lot of concerns about Zenith. Yeah. She had claimed one of the other large bedrooms in the house for herself. I'd advised Lilia against it, given that the previous resident of this house had been killed in there, but Zenith had taken a liking to it and refused to leave. Seeing that, Lilia brushed off my concerns, saying, "I'm sure there's nothing to worry about." It was true that if she was going to look after Zenith, a spacious room would be preferable to a cramped one. I also took Zenith to a doctor, one of the Renoa Kingdom's most prominent practitioners, referred to us by Ariel. Unfortunately, the man threw his hands up, saying he had no idea what kind of medical issue she had, and therefore no idea how to treat it. With the current medical technology in this world, there really was nothing they could do to restore her memories. Perhaps it was because of healing magic that the medical treatment in this world was so unbalanced. Regardless, we took steps to draw up a rehabilitation plan formulated specifically for someone with amnesia. I didn't know if it would help, but it was better than doing nothing. If I had the opportunity, it might be a good idea to search for a magical implement that could help with recovering memories. Granted, I had no idea if such a thing even existed. It was probably best to consider her treatment a long-term endeavor. I had no idea with her family, or what her family back in the holy country of Millis would say about this either. Everything remained uncertain. Sylphie's progress was right on schedule. When I tried to grope at her swollen breasts, she got pretty angry with me. Apparently it hurt if I grabbed too hard. The way she implored me to be gentle made me want to jump her bones. What? I'd bought into her temptations many times before and had my way with her, but she was pregnant this time, so I couldn't let my desires go unfiltered. I couldn't help wanting to touch her just the same, but I was cautious. gentle as I caressed her. Pregnancy brought changes to the body. Her breasts were no longer the ones I was accustomed to fondling, and when I considered how I had been the one to bring about this change to her body, I felt indescribable joy. This was probably what people meant when they talked about a sense of domination. Ah, Sylvie's all mine. But as you might have guessed,
God
having no
damn it,
left hand
Rudy.
sucked. I thought longingly of the days I could grope her chest with both hands. Now that I was missing one, my satisfaction was halved. Soon her breasts would begin to produce milk. I suspected she'd be cross with me if I asked a taste test. Maybe she'd even scorn me. But it might be worth asking, even if the odds were against me. It was probably in my best interest to keep the question to myself. But just once couldn't hurt, right? You sure do love my breasts, Sylvie said. Yeah, I do. They're tiny, but they're the best in the world. Best in the world, she muttered. Can you really say that after you've groped Roxy's? Forgive me for my sins, I said dramatically. I'm not angry. We engaged in playful banter, our relationship as strong as ever. If this had been my previous world, more specifically Japan, our relationship would have probably been quite strained. But in this world, Sylvie was understanding. As long as I loved them equally, I could have 2 or 3 wives. As for my other wife, Roxy had taken up one of the smaller rooms on the second floor, the smallest to be exact. I suggested she pick a more spacious one, but she apparently liked cramped spaces, which I understood. I didn't mind them either. Roxy became a professor at the university. At the same time, I went around introducing her to everyone and announcing my return. But we'll save that story for another time. Another month passed, and finally, on a day with heavy snow, Sylvie gave birth. It was a normal delivery with no real complications, neither breech nor premature. The only issue was that the blizzard outside was so strong that the doctor we called couldn't make it in time. In my previous world, that would have been a cause for panic. But fortunately, we had Lilia. As someone experienced in delivering babies, she was able to move swiftly, with Aisha as her assistant, never asking me for a thing. She performed each step carefully, walking Aisha through the process. Roxy and I were on the sidelines in case anything happened. If an emergency arose, healing magic would be our ace in the hole. Although, notedly, my nerves were completely shot. Healing wasn't even in my head at that point. It was all I could do to grip Sylvie's hand in mine as her face contorted in pain. Seeing you like this brings back memories of when the mistress gave birth to Norn. Oh, wait. No, that was Lilia. Seeing you like this brings back memories of when the mistress gave birth to Norn, said Lilia. That gave me flashbacks, too. Norn had been a breech baby, with both mother and baby in danger during delivery. Paul had been useless, completely choked up. I'd managed to keep my cool and assist the delivery back then, but look at me now. I'd been much more capable in the past than I was now. Not much different than how I'd been in my previous world. uh, don't worry, Mistress Sylvie. Don't worry, Mistress Sylvie will be just fine. There's no need to stress, Lilia said as she worked briskly, handling everything with such practiced expertise that I was floored. But no matter how she tried to soothe my nerves, my mind wouldn't settle. The only thing I could do was cling to Sylvie's hand and say, breathe in and out, wiping the sweat from her brow as I did so. The anguish on her face was clear, even as she giggled in the face of my panic. Um, Rudy, you can relax a little, you know. Aisha snorted with a laugh of her own, which earned her a swift smack from Lilia. Sylvia watched the two of them and giggled again. Just as the room seemed relaxed, the first wave came. Mistress... Mistress Sylvie, we're ready now. Push. I watched quietly as she struggled. The only thing I could say was, you can do this. I felt like there was something I should be doing, too, but there wasn't anything I could do. Sylvie matched Lilia's calls to push, her face clenching each time until the baby was born. She let forth a fierce cry as she was delivered safely into our world. A little girl, an adorable one with the same hair color as me. Lilia lifted her up and handed her to Sylvie, who held the newborn tight and sighed with relief. I'm so glad. Her hair's not green, she whispered. I mussed Sylvie's hair that had once been green but was now a beautiful white. Yeah. Even if our baby had been born with green hair, I wouldn't have blamed Sylvie for it. How could I? Green was my favorite color in this world, the color of both Sylphie's hair and Regent's hair. Even Roxy's, in the right lighting, would shine emerald. I loved green. If someone wanted to discriminate against green hair, they'd have to go through me. I'd face them, even if it meant making an enemy of the whole world. You did wonderful, Sylphie. Thanks. While I had the resolve to love green hair, the rest of the world did not, considering it an ill omen. I thank God for our good fortune that my daughter had the same hair color as me. Speaking of God, she was actually in the neighboring room with a staff gripped firmly in her hands, looking pale as a sheet. Here, Rudy, hold her, said said Sylvie. Okay. I took her in my arms. Her body was warm, her voice fierce as she cried. Her head was tiny, along with her mouth and nose, her entire body overflowing with life. My heart flooded with emotion when I thought about how this little girl was mine, my baby that Sylvie had given birth to. Tears sprung up. Paul was gone, but now we had a baby. He'd saved my life. If it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't be here holding my child. But in exchange, Paul would never again hold his own wife, his own daughters, or his grandchildren. Would he be bitter that he couldn't be here? Or would he laugh and boast, "This was all thanks to me"? Either way, I had to keep living. For my child's sake, I couldn't die. I had to protect Sylvie, my family. Sylvie and I took the first two letters of our names and altered them slightly to come up with her name, Lucy. Lucy Greyrat. Aisha laughed, calling it a cheap name, and Lilia smacked her over the head again. I was just glad she was a girl. If we'd had a boy instead, I might have named him Paul. Lilia chased me out of the room after that. There was much to be done, apparently, so she told me to wait outside. I moved to the living room and planted myself on the sofa. I hadn't really moved at all, yet I was exhausted. Roxy settled down beside me, looking weary herself, and sighed. She'd done even less than me, so hers had to be mental fatigue. That was my first time watching a person give birth, she said. It was amazing. I've seen it a couple times now. About 3, I guess. But it wears you out even more when it's your own. Sylvie was probably even more drained. I would have to really show her my appreciation later. I guess that must I guess that must be how I was born too, Roxy said thoughtfully. Well, it's how everyone's born, isn't it? I didn't know much about how the meagred reproduced, but considering they looked just like humans, there couldn't be too much of a difference, right? I'll be giving birth like that too eventually, won't I? When I glanced her way, I found Roxy peering up at me, her face burning red. I slipped off my shoes and folded my legs under me on the couch, sitting as stiffly as I could. Yes, I hope I can ask you to do that for me. Now that Sylvie's baby had been born, it meant that Roxy and I would be starting the baby-making process next. Honestly, I was looking forward to it, even though Sylvie's baby had only just been delivered. I really was hopeless. Not that I hated myself for it. I couldn't, not when I considered that Paul had probably felt the same way in the past. I can't wait, I thought with a laugh, and Roxy flushed a bright shade, wrapping her arms around her body. Rudy, you've got a seriously dirty look on your face. I was born with it. That's right, I was born with it. It was something I'd had ever since I came into this world, or perhaps even before that. Oh, that's right. Before I began the routine with Roxy, I needed to announce the birth of my baby. The following day, I made my way alone to the outskirts of the city, where a graveyard for nobles was nestled on a low hill. This was where we'd put Paul to rest. He might fuss over being lumped in alongside other nobles, but this place had better management than the one for the general public. I stood amidst the snow before the Renoa-style round grave marker. I had no idea what religion Paul had followed. I didn't think he'd believe in God. He seemed the type not to worry about religion. So even if we made a mistake in that regard, I was sure he'd forgive us. Perhaps it would have been more ideal to make a grave for him in the Asura kingdom, where Buena Village had once been. Paul had no connections or relations to the land here. But if we buried him too far away, we we wouldn't be able to visit him. I'd already informed Geese and the others of this location. We'd even visited once as a group. Each person had brought something along that they thought Paul would like: alcohol, a short sword, that kind of thing. Geese and Tallhand had sat before his grave and drank themselves silly, earning the ire of the gravekeeper. I set about cleaning Paul's grave. A bottle of liquor that I'd purchased on the way crooked under my arm. I dusted off the snow that collected on his grave marker, shining the stone with a cloth I'd brought along. The road leading to the cemetery had been covered in snow, but the gravekeeper kept the pathways here plowed, so it wasn't difficult to tidy up Paul's area. I cleaned, then set the bottle in front of his grave and placed my hands together. I'd thought about buying flowers as well, but there weren't any for sale. During the winter in the northern territories, flowers were difficult to come by. Not that Paul was one for flowers anyway. Paul, Father, my baby was born yesterday. A little girl. She's Sylphie's, so I'm sure she'll grow up to be beautiful. I sat down in front of his grave and gave him the news. I wish you could have seen her. If Paul had seen her, I was sure he'd have fussed and cooed until Zenith scolded him. He'd have probably taken me out drinking to celebrate, and we'd have both drunk ourselves into a stupor. Then he'd have made a move on Lilia, exasperating Zenith. It was so in character I could picture it clearly. The future that would have been if Paul were still alive and my mother hadn't lost her memories. I've made Roxy my wife. I have two now, just like you did. I wish you'd have taught me how to mentally prepare myself for it, though. Now that I thought about it, that was probably what Paul had been trying to talk to me about back then in the labyrinth. He knew that Roxy had feelings for me and that I had feelings for her in return. Most likely, he'd wanted to teach me how to prepare for that. It's not quite the same. I don't suddenly have two daughters, but eventually Roxy will get pregnant and have my child as well. I'm sure that's still far in the future, but I hope they'll grow to be as healthy as Norn and Aisha. I had no intention of knocking Lilia's teachings, but I wanted my children to grow up as equals, to be strong enough to withstand it when people called them half demons. Apparently Sylphie thinks I'm going to take another wife after this. I don't plan anything of the sort, but they do say that what happens once can happen a third time. Maybe she's right. I wondered if Paul had ever considered marrying Ghislaine, Elenalise, or Viera. It seemed he did have a sexual relationship with Ghislaine, so I suspected he'd considered it at least once. Then again, Paul was a bit more open-minded than me, so perhaps he didn't think as far as marriage. Maybe I shouldn't overthink it either, huh? When I directed my question at his gravestone, it felt as if I could see him grinning mischievously back at me. All I could see was his smile. I couldn't hear any words. But it wasn't as if Paul had never thought things through. I was pretty sure he'd racked his brain for years about things. It only made sense. There were few people in the world who lived without thinking at all. Father, I was a terrible son, carrying memories from my previous life. I didn't love you like I should have, as my father, I said as I took to my feet. I took the bottle of alcohol in hand and gulped once. It was a strong liquor, burning like fire on the way down. And once I was done, I splashed some of it over his grave. But now I do see myself as your son. Maybe alcohol wasn't the best for someone like Paul, who'd screwed up by drowning himself in the stuff. But surely, today could be an exception. We were celebrating a new life in the world. I finally understand now. I'm still just a kid. A brat who pretended to be an adult by using his previous memories. I took another swig, then poured some for Paul. Another swig, then a pour. Soon the bottle was completely empty. Now that I have a child in the world and I'm a parent, I know I have to grow up right away. And in order to do that, I'll have to make a bunch of mistakes, grieve over them, and change slowly, gradually. I'm sure that's how you had to do it too, so I'll do the best I can. I popped the lid back over the bottle and set it in front of his grave. I'll come back again. Next time, I'll bring everyone else along too, I said, turning to leave. Many things had fallen into place, with a great deal of pain and a great deal of joy along the way. I'd repeated horrible mistakes along the way, but it wasn't over. No matter how much I screwed up or got things wrong, it wasn't the end. I still had a lot of life to live in this world, and that's what I was going to do, live to the fullest, so that no matter when I died, I'd have no regrets. Beautiful picture. And that's it, with time to spare.
Nice work.
Nice.
Thank you for reading.
Whew.
Why, you pooped there, buddy? You tuckered
Yes.
out? Y'all tuckered out? All right, let's see whose channel we want to raid. I'm not gonna raid. I'm not gonna raid Joel today. We've already got that.
Leafy's doing Pokemon.
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah. No.
At
At least it's Scarlet and Violet and not ZA. Jesus Christ.
No, she's doing the DLC.
No. Oh yeah, that's right. You missed it. We had a little conversation about ZA on Anime Church. Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Fans are turning on Pokemon now. Like hardcore fans are now turning on Pokemon.
I'm not
They don't even have
surprised.
voice acting when they should. It wouldn't even be that hard.
It really
Literally the graphics they got going on there, like,
Yeah.
is so freaking poor. The entire map, you can run around the entire map in 7 minutes.
Yep.
I'm gonna say that I've been
Okay,
saying
that's
this
very
about.
upsetting.
Yeah. Like
I'm
they
gonna say
have
this about
most of the
Pokemon that
buildings
I've been
can't be
saying for a
entered,
while now.
and they're just flat textures. It's
Yep.
like
New game
no
doesn't
wonder-
add any new Pokemon.
why the
no
hell
new
did they bother
forms.
suing?
Or Super
Why the hell
Megas.
did they bother suing over patents when they were going to turn
For
in
real.
some lazy crap like this?
The only reason
Yeah.
Arceus was so great was because the maps
was
were
new.
big.
Yeah.
No, not just because it was new. Arceus was
That was
great.
all
It was
part
the
of it,
first of its
yeah.
kind in a Pokemon game.
Mhm.
The maps were big. They had new things of Pokemon actually running around that you could see,
And you can interact and stuff.
like attacks and stuff happening in real time. The
Yep.
only thing they're adding to this one is technically just that Pokemon battles with trainers also happen in real time. It's not turn based.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know.
The thing is,
And it's
I've
like-
realized this with Pokemon. When you are the #1 multimedia franchise in the world, you don't
In the
have to
world.
do anything.
That's
No,
the thing.
you don't
They
have
have
to
that's
to
not
understand.
true.
No,
That
no,
is
that is
not
definitely
true.
not true. And the reason why is because of ZA.
I...
They are losing.
Oh, not
people
anymore
now.
with this, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
You
which is
can't
understandable.
just stop doing things. You have to improve.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's
Or
kind of
at
funny
least
that
have a good status quo, which Arceus was a good status quo. ZA is a step back.
yeah.
Yep.
Like,
unfortunately, which
seriously.
is like really a shame because it's like, man, it's
Let me
kind of
check
ironic
make
that
sure
a
about that.
franchise, and I've been a big fan of Pokemon since the beginning. It's just funny that like
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest franchise in the world built on evolution just will not
Mhm.
change at all, which is like
Ah,
interesting.
facts.
Still consider
You know what I
that,
mean?
but we'll
Like,
see. Yeah, we'll have to see how that
interesting.
plays out.
Now, I
We're
will
gonna
say,
It
raid-
makes me sad.
we're gonna raid
Nintendo
Leafy.
themselves shares some of that blame
Yeah,
because Nintendo just kept telling them to
absolutely
keep
does.
pumping out a
Oh,
game every
100%.
year.
Yeah,
no,
I mean, I think
no,
it's one of
they
those franchises
absolutely-
that's just way too big,
It's.
unfortunately.
I mean, you know what's really sad is they basically justified everything Pocket Pair is doing, because
Yeah.
like even the diehard fans, you know what the comments the most like used comment over and over is right now, even from the diehards.
Huh.
What is it?
Power World did it better.
Yep.
Facts.
Unfortunately.
That's why they sue them, because they don't want the competition.
That's the
That's
thing. That's
literally
probably
it.
it.
No,
Literally
you're
it.
That's it. They
absolutely
just want to
right.
shunt them out because then anyone else would make them look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
They would
Which is
rather
like,
go through the
Jesus.
effort of just snuffing out any potential competition than just
Yep.
dealing with it, which they very easily could.
Unfortunately, Pocket Pair is too good of a competition now, and they can't stop it.
Not
Yep.
only that, but they have
Thank
both
God.
Sony
Good.
and Microsoft money.
Uh-huh.
Well,
And
Mhm.
also, I love Pocket Pair's new game coming out because they're basically giving Nintendo the giant middle finger and saying, we're going to do Animal Crossing better, too.
Yeah,
damn.
that's really really funny. They're doing like Power World if it was
But Animal
Animal
Crossing.
Farming. Animal Crossing or
Well, a bit of Animal Crossing, a bit of Stardew, a bit of
yeah,
and
exactly. a
it
bit of
looks
Stardew.
great. And my thing is I'm wondering if they're also going to add the ability because the pals talk. The pals
Mhm.
are talking. They are characters.
Oh, that I did not know.
So
Oh.
the fun thing to think about, because you see what looks like a wedding, are you gonna be able to marry pals?
All right, here we go. We're gonna raid Leafy. Everybody say hi to Chief Leaf.
Hello.
All right, take care.
supposed to be
Bye
me.
bye.
Bye.
Fat Dog used his Chief Leaf. It's super effective.
I'm just